Hi guys, hello everyone. This is Vamshi Krishna. Today we will see some of the important questions for upcoming staff nurse recruitment examinations. So let's see the first question. ICDS immunization program for. So ICDS is nothing but Integrated Child Developmental Scheme. So what is the aim of this immunization program? So options are option A above 60 years of age people, option B pregnant mothers, option C children who are below 6 years, and option D is the both B and C. That is nothing but pregnant mothers and children's. So the right option is option D. So option D is the pregnant mothers and children who are below 6 years. So this program, ICDS program, is to prevent the infections and promote the health of the pregnant mothers and children. Why? Because pregnant mother, not only the single person, she is carrying a baby inside. So this ICDS program is meant for the growth and development and healthy children. So the right answer is pregnant mother and children who are below 6 years. That is for ICDS program. So let's go to the next question. Pepsinogen is a hormone. Is secretion from. So pepsinogen is a hormone. It is secreted by which of the organ in the human body? The options are option A adrenal glands, option B pancreatic chief cells, option C pituitary gland, option D thymus gland. So the right option is option B. Option B is the right answer. That is pancreatic chief cells, which is secrete the pepsinogen hormone. Pepsinogen it is the function of the increasing of glucose in the blood, and insulin is the reducing of glucose in the blood. So insulin and pepsinogen both are opposite actions. So the next question is the whole is nothing but uh, the whole it is nothing but the entry of it is nothing but a opening from one side to another side. That is the whole of entry of blood vessel enter into the bone. Okay, so we have the structure of the bone here, and the blood vessels has to enter into the bone. Okay, this is the bone marrow. So this is all about bone marrow. So blood supply also it is need for the bone. So so blood vessels has to enter into the bone. So what is the name of the hole is present on the bone, and which blood vessel enter into the bone? So options are option A fossa, it is a fossa, it's a O, okay, and option B trochanterum, option C Haversian canal, option D foramen. So the right option is option D. Option D is the right answer. That is foramen. Foramen is the hole. Okay, the blood vessel and the nerves will enter into the bone through the foramen. So the next question is most specific cardiac marker in the case of patient with myocardial infarction. So myocardial infarction is nothing but inflammation and necrosis of the myocardium. Okay, so myocardium tissue, which is death due to the insufficient blood supply and insufficient oxygen supply to the tissue, so it leads to the death of the myocardial cell, that is called myocardial infarction. So in the case of myocardial infarction, so how we can diagnose? Okay, before taking the ECG, before taking the Todico, so how we can identify the patient has myocardial infection infraction by the blood diagnosis. So, which is the specific cardiac marker in the case of myocardial infarction? So, options are option A CKMB. Okay, option A is the CKMB. Option B tropotin. Tropotin is nothing but troponin T. And option C is the myoglobin decreases. Okay, so myoglobin is nothing but enzyme which is decrease in the blood. Option D is the increased creatinine level. So the right option is option B. So troponin will increase in the blood when the patient having the myocardial infarction, and it is also a specific cardiac marker. Specific nothing but a gunshot. Okay, so direct when the patient having the higher troponin T, so it leads he will have the myocardial infarction. So the next question is, the newborn has the empty scrotal sac. So empty scrotal sac is nothing but the scrotum which is present at the pelvic area which carry the testis. Okay, so the both testes are covered by the scrotum and they will hang over the under the penis. So what is the condition when the newborn doesn't have the testis in the scrotum? The options are option A. Option A is the epispadiosis. Option B cryptorchidism. Option C lothardism. Option D hypospadiosis. So the right option is option B. So option B is nothing but cryptorchidism. Okay, cryptorchidism is nothing but the child. Okay, if you see it is a scrotal sac. So in this the testicles has to present. Okay, so these are the two testes. This is epididymis. So when the child, after the birth of the child, male baby, so the male baby doesn't have testis in the scrotum. So this condition is called cryptorchidism. Okay, remember this term. Okay, next the next question is, the highest oxygen concentration of fetal blood circulation. So you all know the fetal circulation. We have the fetal circulation diagram over here. So in this blood vessels, okay, so in this blood vessel which has higher concentration of, okay, which has the higher concentration of oxygen. So options are option A umbilical arteriosus, option B ductus arteriosus. This is not arteriosus, it is artery. Okay, umbilical artery option A, option B ductus arteriosus, option C ductus venosus, option D umbilical vein. So the right answer is option C, that is nothing but ductus venosus. Why the ductus venosus has the higher oxygen level? Why? Because if you see the picture over here, we have the umbilical cord here. Okay, so umbilical cord consists of two arteries and one vein. The two arteries which carries the blood from fetus to placenta. Okay, the connection between the fetus and placenta is the umbilical cord. So umbilical cord consists of two arteries and one vein, and vein has taking the or transferring the oxygenated and nutrient bloods from the placenta to, okay, so this is the placenta and here is the baby. So the connection between the placenta and the baby is the cord. So the cord consists of two arteries and one vein. So the vein carries the blood from the placenta to fetus. So the umbilical vein has the higher oxygen rate. So the right answer is ductus venosus. So ductus venosus has the higher oxygen level in the blood. So the next question is, prolonged heavy menstrual bleeding is known as. Okay, so menstrual bleeding is nothing but uh, loss or the loss of the blood from the uterus. Okay, this is the female reproductive organ. We have the uterus over here, and ovaries, fallopian tubes, all the things are present here. So every woman has the menstrual cycle for every month. So some of the conditions like amenorrhea and oligomenorrhea. So these are the different conditions for bleeding or absence of menstruation. So these are the different type of conditions. So in the case of women with prolonged heavy menstrual bleeding, so the women have the menstrual period. She has the menstrual period every month, but she is having the prolonged heavy. Normally, the women have the minimum 4 to 5 days of, okay, 4 to 5 days of menstrual bleeding will occur. So some of the women have the only 2 days, some of the women have 3 days, like that. So some of the women who are more than the 5 days and also heavy bleeding. So what is the condition of that? Condition of this condition, this situation. So the options are: option A is the menarche, option B is the amenorrhea, option C is the oligomenorrhea, option D is the menorrhagia. So the right option is, so what is the right option? That is D, menorrhagia. Menorrhagia is nothing but heavy bleeding in the during the menstruation. So the next question is, tricuspid valve is located at the. So the heart consists of different types of valves over here. Okay, we have the tricuspid, bicuspid, aortic, and pulmonary valve, like that. So tricuspid valve is located at which side of the heart? So the options are: option A left atrium, option B right atrium, option C right atrioventricular. The I mean it is between the atrium and ventricle, and option D is the left atrioventricular region. So where the location of the tricuspid valve will be present? That is right option is option C. Option C is the right option, right answer for this question. So that is right side of the heart. So if you see the structure of the heart here, we have the tricuspid valve. Okay, so this is the tricuspid and this is the bicuspid. Bicuspid is nothing but has two wings. Tricuspid has the three wings. So tricuspid valve is always present at the right side of the heart. Okay, this is the right side and this is the left side. We'll go to the next question. So the ninth question is Ramsay scale. Okay, the scale of the Ramsay. It named as the Ramsay scale. So this Ramsay scale is used to assess for. So what is the use of the Ramsay scale? Okay, so options are: option A is the to assess the brain function, option B is the severity of the burns, option C is the bed sore, option D is the sedation. So to assess which of these conditions are used for the Ramsay scale, so the right option is option D. Okay, sedation. Sedation is nothing but when we give the sedative drugs, midazolam, okay, that kind of anesthetic drugs when we give to the patient, so we need to assess the sedation percentage. So by the use of Ramsay scale, we can assess the sedation for the patient. So the last question is prevention of pulling of urinary catheter for a patient. So the here we have the patient, female patient. She is carrying the urinary catheter and bag over here. So how we can prevent the pulling of urinary catheter for the patient? So options are option A, it should be taped with a plaster, patient's upper thigh. So we need to tape the urinary catheter with the plaster or the upper thigh. Option B, it can be carried by hand. Okay. Option B is the it can be carried by the hand. Option C is the plaster the catheter at inguinal area. Okay. Option C is the plaster. Tape the plaster the catheter at the inguinal region. Option D is the it should be taped on lower thigh of the male patient. So which is the right answer for this question? So the right answer is option A. Okay, we always have to tape the urinary catheter over the upper thigh. Okay, so here we have the plaster. Okay, you see the on the thigh region we have the plaster and a catheter. So we have to tape the catheter over the upper thigh of the leg. So by this the pulling of catheter we can be prevent. So this is the end of the class. Today we discussed 10 questions for the staff nursing recruitment examination. Okay, thank you guys.